Are you ready to discover the hidden treasure that could be sitting right in your pocket change? Welcome back, fellow collectors and coin enthusiasts, to another exciting episode where we dive deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable pieces of American numismatic history, the incredible 1985 quarter dollar USA that could turn your ordinary pocket change into millions of dollars and transform your understanding of what makes a coin truly valuable in today's red-hot auction market. And this video is absolutely packed with real market value insights, professional collector favorites, and the kind of information that separates casual coin finders from serious numismatic investors. So let's uncover the treasure that might be hiding right there in your change jar. The story of the 1985 quarter dollar begins with one of the most remarkable periods in American coinage history, taking us back to 1985 when the United States Mint was producing coins at an unprecedented rate to meet the growing demands of a thriving American economy. And this particular quarter represents not just a piece of currency, but a snapshot of American craftsmanship, artistic vision, and monetary policy during the Reagan administration, when economic prosperity was driving coin production to levels that would astound even today's collectors and investors. The Washington Quarter series itself has roots that stretch back to 1932, originally designed by the brilliant sculptor John Flanagan, whose artistic vision captured the essence of America's first president in a way that would endure for decades. But by 1985, this design had evolved through various modifications and improvements that make the 1985 quarter a unique study in numismatic evolution and artistic refinement that continues to captivate collectors worldwide. The Philadelphia Mint, where our 1985 quarter was born, has been the cornerstone of American coin production since 1792, and by 1985, this historic facility was operating with state-of-the-art equipment and processes that ensured each quarter met the exacting standards required for circulation while maintaining the artistic integrity that makes these coins so sought after by collectors today. The economic context of 1985 is crucial to understanding why this quarter holds such significance in the collecting world, as this was a year when the American economy was experiencing robust growth. Inflation was under control, and consumer confidence was soaring, creating the perfect storm for coin production that would result in mintages that seem astronomical by today's standards. Yet within those massive production runs lie the keys to understanding true rarity and collector value. The mint mark system itself tells a fascinating story of American monetary organization, with the P Mint mark designation indicating production at the Philadelphia Mint. And while this might seem like a simple alphabetical designation, the implications for collectors are profound, as Philadelphia has historically been the primary production facility for American coinage, giving P Mint mark coins a special significance in the hierarchy of American numismatics that extends far beyond their face value. The year 1985 specifically represents a pivotal moment in quarter production, as the United States Mint was balancing the demands of an economy that required massive quantities of circulating coinage with the growing awareness among collectors that modern coins could indeed become valuable collectibles, a realization that would fundamentally change how people viewed their pocket change and create the market conditions that make today's 1985 quarters potentially worth far more than their original 25-cent face value. The historical significance of 1985 extends beyond mere economics into the realm of American culture and society, as this was a year when technology was advancing rapidly, communication was becoming more global, and the collecting community was beginning to organize and share information in ways that would revolutionize the hobby, creating networks of collectors who understood that modern coins, particularly those in exceptional condition, could represent serious investment opportunities that would appreciate dramatically over time. The design elements of the 1985 quarter dollar represent a masterpiece of American numismatic artistry that deserves careful examination. and appreciation from every serious collector. Starting with the obverse side that features John Flanagan's iconic interpretation of Gilbert Stuart's famous Athenaeum portrait of George Washington, rendered with such skill and precision that even after decades of production, the design continues to capture the dignity, strength, and leadership qualities that made Washington such a revered figure in American history. The obverse design showcases Washington facing left, with liberty prominently displayed along the left edge of the coin, while "In God We Trust" appears to the left of Washington's portrait, and the date 1985 is positioned at the bottom, creating a balanced and harmonious composition that exemplifies the best traditions of American coin design and demonstrates why this particular arrangement has endured for so many years without requiring significant modification or improvement. The critical P mint mark appears behind Washington's ponytail on the obverse, a placement that might seem subtle to casual observers, but represents one of the most important identifying characteristics for collectors, as this small letter P distinguishes Philadelphia Mint production from coins produced at other facilities, and can dramatically impact both rarity and value, making proper identification of this mint mark absolutely essential for anyone serious about collecting these remarkable coins. The reverse side of the 1985 P quarter features the majestic American Eagle design that has graced the Washington Quarter series since its inception, with the eagle displayed with wings spread wide, and a pose that symbolizes strength, freedom, and the soaring spirit of American democracy, while the inscription "United States of America" curves along the upper portion of the coin. Quarter dollar appears at the bottom, and E pluribus unum is elegantly placed on a ribbon held in the eagle's beak, creating a reverse design that perfectly complements the obverse portrait and maintains the artistic integrity that has made the Washington Quarter series so enduringly popular among collectors worldwide. The composition of the 1985 P quarter represents a fascinating chapter in American coinage metallurgy, as this coin is constructed using what numismatists call the clad composition, consisting of a core of pure copper that comprises approximately 91.67% of the coin's total weight, sandwiched between two layers of copper-nickel alloy containing 75% copper and 25% nickel, creating a three-layer construction that provides durability, resistance to wear, and the distinctive appearance that collectors have come to associate with modern American quarters, while maintaining production costs at levels that make mass production economically viable. For the United States Mint, the strike quality of 1985 P quarters varies considerably depending on numerous factors including die condition, blanket preparation, press pressure, and the specific timing within the production run, with early strikes often exhibiting sharper details and more pronounced design elements than later strikes from the same dies, creating collecting opportunities for those who understand how to identify and evaluate these subtle but significant differences in manufacturing quality that can substantially impact a coin's desirability and market value. The grading and condition assessment of any 1985 P quarter requires careful examination of multiple factors that professional numismatists have identified as crucial indicators of a coin's state of preservation, starting with the Sheldon scale that ranges from 1 to 70, where coins graded 1 through 59 are considered circulated with varying degrees of wear, while coins graded 60 through 70 are classified as uncirculated or mint state, with each increment representing increasingly superior levels of preservation that can dramatically affect market value and collector demand. Very good grade coins, typically ranging from VG8 to VG10, show considerable wear but retain most major design elements, with Washington's portrait still clearly recognizable and the inscriptions readable, though fine details may be worn away, and the original mint luster completely absent, making these coins suitable for type collections or casual collecting, but generally not commanding premium prices in today's competitive marketplace unless they possess unusual varieties or errors. That increased their desirability among specialized collectors. Fine-grade specimens, usually graded F12 to F15, display moderate wear with most design details still visible, though the highest points of the design show smoothing and the original surfaces show the effects of circulation, yet these coins retain enough character and detail to satisfy many collectors who appreciate the historical significance and affordability that fine-grade coins represent, particularly for collectors who are building comprehensive date and mint mark sets without requiring the premium prices associated with higher-grade examples. Extremely fine quarters, graded EF40 to EF45, exhibit light wear on only the highest points of the design, with most original detail still sharp and clear. Slight traces of original mint luster possibly remaining in protected areas, and an overall appearance that clearly demonstrates this coin saw limited circulation before being preserved, making EF grade 1985p quarters excellent choices for collectors who want attractive examples without paying the premium prices commanded by uncirculated specimens, while still obtaining coins that showcase the artistic merit and technical quality of the original design. Uncirculated or mint state 1985p quarters, graded MS60 through MS70, represent the holy grail for serious collectors, as these coins show no evidence of wear from circulation and retain varying degrees of original mint luster, surface quality, and strike sharpness that can range from barely qualifying for mint state designation to absolutely pristine specimens that appear exactly as they did when they first left the coining press, with higher mint state grades commanding exponentially higher prices due to their rarity and the difficulty of preserving modern clad coinage in such exceptional condition over nearly for decades. The color variations and toning patterns found on 1985p quarters provide another fascinating area of study for advanced collectors, as the copper-nickel surface composition can develop various forms of natural toning over time, ranging from subtle golden or blue hues to more dramatic rainbow effects, depending on storage conditions, environmental factors, and the specific chemical composition of the coin's surface, with naturally toned examples often commanding premium prices from collectors who appreciate the unique beauty that time and natural processes can create on properly preserved specimens, while artificially toned or clean coins are generally avoided by serious collectors who understand that original surface quality is paramount in determining long-term value and desirability. The rarity factors surrounding 1985p quarters present a complex and nuanced picture that requires deep understanding of mintage figures, survival rates, and collector demand patterns that have evolved over nearly for decades since these coins were first struck, beginning with the original mintage of 775,818,962 pieces, a figure that might initially suggest these coins are common and therefore not particularly valuable. But this superficial analysis fails to account for the critical importance of condition, rarity, varieties, and the specific market dynamics that affect modern coin collecting in ways that were not anticipated when these coins were originally produced. The survival rate of high-grade 1985p quarters represents one of the most important factors in understanding their current market position and future potential, as the vast majority of the nearly 776 million coins originally minted entered circulation immediately and experienced the wear, damage, and loss that inevitably affects coins used in day-to-day commerce, meaning that pristine examples that were somehow preserved in mint state condition have become increasingly scarce as time passes, and more collectors recognize the importance of condition in determining value, creating a market dynamic where common date coins in exceptional condition can command prices that far exceed their original face value. Collector demand for 1985p quarters has been steadily building over the past decade, as the numismatic community has come to recognize that modern coins, particularly those from the 1980s, represent an undervalued segment of the market with significant potential for appreciation, driven by factors including the natural attrition of high-grade specimens, the growing sophistication of modern collectors who understand condition rarity, and the increasing difficulty of assembling complete date and mint mark sets in superior grades, all of which contribute to upward pressure on prices for the finest available examples. The competition among collectors for top-quality 1985P quarters has intensified dramatically in recent years as registry set collectors, investors, and advanced numismatists have recognized that modern clad quarters in grades of MS66 and above represent some of the most challenging coins to locate in the entire Washington quarter series, creating auction scenarios where individual coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of times their face value, depending on grade and the specific characteristics that make certain examples more desirable than others. In this highly competitive marketplace, the comparison between 1985P quarters and other years in the Washington quarter series reveals fascinating insights into the relative rarity and desirability of this specific date and mint mark combination. As while the 1985P had one of the higher mintages in the series, the survival rate in mint state condition appears to be lower than many collectors initially expected, possibly due to the specific alloy characteristics of the year's production, storage and distribution patterns that affected preservation rates, or simply the statistical reality that even large mintage issues can become condition rarities. When collectors focus their attention on acquiring the finest available examples over an extended period of time, the importance of completing date and mint mark sets has driven much of the recent interest in 1985P quarters, as serious collectors understand that a Washington quarter collection is only as strong as its weakest link, and the difficulty of locating high-grade examples of certain seemingly common dates, like the 1985P, has created bottlenecks that can take years to resolve, particularly for collectors who refuse to compromise on grade and are willing to wait for truly exceptional examples rather than settling for specimens that meet minimum requirements, but lack the eye appeal and technical quality that separate good collections from great collections. Professional grading services, particularly PCGS and NGC, have played a crucial role in establishing standardized quality assessments for 1985P quarters, with their population reports providing invaluable data about the relative scarcity of high-grade examples and creating transparent market conditions where buyers and sellers can make informed decisions based on objective grading standards rather than subjective opinions. Though collectors should understand that even coins with identical grades can vary significantly in terms of eye appeal, strike quality, and surface characteristics that affect desirability and market value in ways that go beyond simple numerical grades. The authentication aspects of 1985P quarter collecting have become increasingly important as values have risen and the financial incentives for counterfeiting have increased. Though fortunately, the relatively recent vintage of these coins and the sophisticated anti-counterfeiting measures employed by professional grading services have kept the incidence of fake 1985P quarters relatively low compared to earlier and more valuable issues. But collectors should still be aware of the importance of purchasing authenticated and graded examples from reputable sources, particularly when dealing with high-grade specimens that command significant premiums over face value. Identifying authentic 1985P quarters requires attention to several key characteristics that distinguish genuine examples from potential counterfeits, starting with the overall weight and dimensions that should conform to exact specifications established by the United States Mint, including a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and a weight of 5.67 grams. Measurements that can be verified with precision instruments and provide the first line of defense against counterfeit coins that may attempt to replicate the appearance, but often fail to match the exact physical specifications of genuine examples. The mint mark identification process for 1985p quarters focuses on the small p that appears behind Washington's ponytail on the obverse side of the coin, and collectors should examine this area carefully with proper magnification to ensure the mint mark displays the correct size, positioning, and style characteristics that are consistent with authentic Philadelphia mint production, while being aware that the mint mark should appear crisp and well-defined on high-grade examples, though it may show some weakness on lower-grade specimens depending on strike pressure and die condition at the time of production. Proper lighting techniques can dramatically improve your ability to accurately assess the condition and authenticity of 1985p quarters, as the clad composition can create surface reflectivity patterns that reveal important details about the coin's state of preservation, including the presence or absence of original mint luster, the extent of any surface disturbances or cleaning, and the overall eye appeal that can significantly impact market value, with experienced collectors often using multiple light sources positioned at different angles to fully evaluate a coin's surfaces and identify characteristics that may not be apparent under standard lighting conditions. The storage and preservation recommendations for 1985p quarters are critical for maintaining their condition and protecting your investment over time, beginning with the fundamental principle that these coins should never be stored in environments containing PVC or other chemicals that can cause long-term damage to the copper-nickel surfaces, instead requiring storage in inert holders made from materials specifically designed for numismatic preservation, such as mylar flips, archival quality cardboard holders, or certified grading service slabs that provide maximum protection against environmental contamination and physical damage. Temperature and humidity control represent additional crucial factors in 1985p quarter preservation, as extreme variations in either parameter can contribute to surface deterioration, toning changes, or other forms of degradation that can permanently reduce a coin's grade and market value, with most experts recommending storage in environments maintained between 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, with relative humidity levels between 45 to 55%, conditions that minimize the chemical and physical processes that can affect long-term preservation and help ensure your coins will retain their current condition for future generations of collectors. Professional grading services offer numerous benefits for 1985p quarter collectors, beyond simple grade assignment, including tamper-evident holders that protect coins from handling damage, detailed photography and documentation that can assist with insurance and record-keeping requirements, population data that provides market context for rarity assessment, and the liquidity advantages that come with owning coins that have been authenticated and graded by universally recognized third-party services, making professional grading particularly attractive for higher-value specimens that justify the associated costs and processing time. The grading process itself involves detailed examination by professional numismatists who evaluate multiple aspects of a coin's condition and eye appeal using standardized criteria developed over decades of market experience, including strike quality, surface preservation, luster characteristics, and any detracting features that might affect grade assignment, with the final grade representing a consensus opinion that reflects the coin's standing within the broader population of similar coins. Though collectors should understand that grading involves some degree of subjectivity, and that grade opinions can occasionally vary between different services, or even different submissions to the same service. Building a comprehensive collection of Washington quarters that includes high-quality 1985p examples requires patience, knowledge, and strategic planning that takes into account both current market conditions and long-term collecting goals. As successful collectors understand that assembling a complete date and mint mark set in superior grades is a marathon rather than a sprint, requiring careful attention to market opportunities, condition standards, and budgetary considerations that can span many years or even decades, depending on the collector's specific objectives and the grades they are targeting for their collection. The marketplace for 1985 P quarters encompasses numerous venues and channels that offer different advantages and considerations for both buyers and sellers, including local coin shops that provide personal service and the opportunity for hands-on examination, regional and national coin shows that offer access to multiple dealers and competitive pricing, auction houses that specialize in numismatic material and can provide access to exceptional specimens, and online platforms that offer convenience and broad selection, but require additional diligence regarding authentication and condition assessment, with experienced collectors often utilizing multiple channels to maximize their opportunities for locating the specific coins they need for their collections. Auction results for high-grade 1985 P quarters have demonstrated the significant premium that collectors are willing to pay for exceptional examples, with MS-67 specimens selling for hundreds of times their face value and MS-68 examples commanding prices that can reach into the thousands of dollars, creating a market dynamic where condition becomes the primary driver of value, and even small differences in grade can translate into substantial differences in market price, particularly for coins graded at the highest levels where population numbers become extremely small and collector competition intensifies dramatically. The investment potential of 1985 P quarters in superior grades has attracted attention from both traditional coin collectors and alternative investment enthusiasts who recognize the tangible assets with established market histories and transparent grading standards can provide portfolio diversification benefits, while potentially generating returns that exceed traditional investment vehicles. Though potential investors should understand that coin collecting requires specialized knowledge, involves transaction costs, and can experience market volatility that may not be suitable for all investment strategies or risk tolerances. Market timing considerations for 1985 P quarter collectors involve understanding the cyclical nature of numismatic markets and recognizing that prices for specific coins and grades can fluctuate based on factors including overall economic conditions, collector demographic changes, registry set competition, and the discovery or non-discovery of high-grade examples that can affect population dynamics and pricing structures, with successful collectors often adopting long-term perspectives that focus on acquiring quality coins when opportunities arise, rather than attempting to time short-term market movements that can be difficult to predict with consistency. The educational value of 1985 P quarter collecting extends far beyond simple accumulation of coins to encompass learning about American history, artistic design, metallurgy, manufacturing processes, market dynamics, and preservation science that can provide lifelong intellectual rewards while potentially generating financial returns, making this an ideal collecting area for individuals who appreciate the intersection of history, art, technology, and economics that defines the best aspects of numismatic collecting and helps explain why coin collecting has remained popular across multiple generations of enthusiasts worldwide. Registry set competition has emerged as one of the most significant drivers of demand for high-grade 1985 P quarters, as collectors compete to assemble the finest possible Washington quarter collections as measured by standardized scoring systems that reward both completion and grade levels, creating market conditions where individual coins can command premium prices based not only on their individual merits but also on their importance in completing competitive sets, with the most dedicated registry collectors often willing to pay substantial premiums for coins that can improve their overall set rankings and provide the satisfaction that comes with owning truly exceptional numismatic material. The technological advances in coin production during the 1980s provide important context for understanding the quality and characteristics of 1985 P quarters, as the United States Mint was utilizing sophisticated equipment and quality control procedures That resulted in generally superior strike quality compared to earlier decades. Yet the same technological capabilities that enabled consistent production also created challenges in terms of preserving coins in mint state condition, as the improved striking power could sometimes result in surface characteristics that make preservation more difficult and create condition sensitivities that affect long-term market performance. Die variety collecting represents an advanced aspect of 1985 P-quarter numismatics that can provide additional collecting opportunities for specialists who have the knowledge and equipment necessary to identify subtle differences in die characteristics that can create premium varieties within what initially appears to be a homogeneous population of coins, with die varieties ranging from minor double die effects to more dramatic varieties that can command significant premiums among collectors who specialize in this aspect of Washington quarter collecting and understand the rarity and significance of specific die characteristics. The historical context of 1985 provides fascinating insights into the economic and social conditions that influence coin production and collecting patterns, as this was a year when the United States was experiencing economic growth, technological innovation, and cultural changes that would shape the following decades, creating a time capsule effect that makes 1985 P-quarters not just numismatic collectibles, but also artifacts that represent a specific moment in American history, adding cultural and historical value to their numismatic significance and helping explain why collectors are drawn to coins that connect them with specific periods and events in our nation's development. Quality control procedures at the Philadelphia Mint in 1985 involved multiple inspection stages, designed to ensure that only coins meeting established standards would be released for circulation. Yet despite these quality control measures, variations in strike quality, surface characteristics, and overall eye appeal still occurred, creating the condition hierarchies that drive today's collecting market and provide opportunities for collectors who understand how to identify and evaluate the factors that distinguish exceptional examples from more common specimens within the same date and mint mark designation. The role of 1985 P-quarters in type collecting provides another important perspective on their significance within the broader numismatic community, as these coins serve as readily available and relatively affordable representatives of the Washington quarter series for collectors who want to include examples of major design types in their collections without necessarily pursuing complete date and mint mark sets, though even type collectors benefit from understanding condition rarity and should strive to acquire the finest available examples within their budget parameters to maximize both their collecting satisfaction and the long-term potential of their investments. Cleaning and conservation issues represent critical concerns for 1985 P-quarter collectors, as the copper-nickel composition can be susceptible to various forms of environmental damage and inappropriate cleaning attempts that can permanently reduce a coin's grade and market value, with the general rule being that collectors should never attempt to clean coins themselves, but should instead focus on proper storage and preservation techniques that prevent deterioration while maintaining the original surface characteristics that professional graders and serious collectors value most highly in determining desirability and market pricing. The psychological aspects of 1985 P-quarter collecting involve understanding the emotional and intellectual satisfaction that comes from pursuing challenging collecting goals, assembling complete sets, and owning exceptional examples of coins that represent both artistic achievement and technical excellence, with successful collectors often finding that the journey of building their collections provides as much satisfaction as the destination, creating lifelong interests that can provide intellectual stimulation, social connections within the collecting community, and potential financial benefits that extend far beyond the original cost of acquiring the coins themselves. Regional variations in 1985 P-quarter distribution and survival rates may have created geographic pockets where these coins are more or less common in high grades, as factors including regional economic conditions, banking practices, collector awareness levels, and pure statistical chance can influence the likelihood of finding exceptional examples in different areas of the country, creating opportunities for collectors who understand these patterns and are willing to expand their search efforts beyond their immediate geographic areas to locate the coins they need for their collections. The documentation and record-keeping aspects of serious 1985 P-quarter collecting involve maintaining detailed inventories that include purchase information, grade assignments, certification numbers, and photographic records that can assist with insurance requirements, estate planning, and future disposition decisions, while also providing the historical record that can enhance the long-term value and significance of a collection by documenting its assembly and preserving information that future collectors and researchers may find valuable and understanding market development and collecting patterns during this period of numismatic history. Stay tuned because this is one coin that collectors are chasing with serious passion and big money, as the 1985 P-quarter dollar represents everything that makes modern coin collecting exciting, challenging, and potentially profitable, combining historical significance with condition rarity and market dynamics that create opportunities for collectors who understand quality and are willing to pursue the finest available examples. Let's just say it's way more than 25 cents when you're dealing with specimens that have survived nearly for decades in pristine condition. And you could be sitting on a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its grade and characteristics. These coins are not just historical artifacts but valuable assets that represent the intersection of American history, artistic achievement, and market forces that continue to drive collector interest and investment potential. In today's active coin market, collectors are willing to pay premium prices for 1985 P-quarters that meet their standards for condition and eye appeal, creating opportunities for both new and experienced collectors to participate in this exciting area of numismatics. If you're a collector or investor, now is the perfect time to examine your change, dig through your drawers, and carefully evaluate any 1985 P-quarters you might discover, because you never know what's hiding there waiting to be discovered. Consider yourself lucky if you're holding a coin that's making headlines in auction results and registry competitions, as the 1985 P-quarter dollar continues to prove that modern coins can indeed become valuable collectibles that reward those who understand their potential and are willing to pursue quality examples with patience and dedication. The 1985 P-quarter dollar stands as a testament to American numismatic excellence and collecting opportunity, representing both the technical achievements of the United States Mint and the enduring appeal of coins that combine historical significance with rarity and beauty, making this an essential date for any serious Washington quarter collector, and a coin that will continue to reward those who recognize its potential and secure exceptional examples for their collections. So check your collections today and see if you might be holding one of these remarkable pieces of American numismatic history that could represent both collecting satisfaction and investment potential for years to come.